Hi! Welcome to the second video of the Chef Features the Forsyth Farmers Market series. I'm here with Chef Pete again, and we are going to make caramelized Brussels sprouts with mushrooms and goat cheese.
So first, I have my mise en place here. So we got the Brussels sprouts, which is local, by the way. We have the oyster mushrooms, sweet Vidalia onions that's already nice and sliced, the local goat cheese, the mushrooms. I'm going to go back to it because that's local too as well. We have some microgreens, local microgreens. We have some garlic, some sliced garlic, some kosher salt, olive oil, balsamic glaze, black pepper. And we also have some roasted red peppers. But if you can't find roasted red peppers, you can use pimentos. Got my oil down. Nice and medium hot pan. So you want your pan to be medium heat. So when I got the oil down, coat the pan, and then I just put the Brussels sprouts in there. So this here you want to saute a little slowly to bring out the sugars in the balsamic. To bring out the sugars in the Brussels sprouts. You want to take the Brussels sprouts, cut the base off, and then you can either quarter them or cut them in half.
Chef Pete, if you hated Brussels sprouts and this was just a non-starter for you, what is something that you could use instead?
I would just use regular old cabbage.
Cabbage?
Yeah.
Green, red?
I would use, actually you could do both. You can do green or red. So now I would just hit the Brussels sprouts with a little cracked black pepper. Salt. Give it a little heat. So once I get my initial seasoning in there, I cut the pan up a little bit because we just want to slow cook it at first, and now we want to crank up the heat a little bit to bring out more of the flavor of the Brussels sprouts. All right, now you can see those Brussels sprouts getting nice and dark. Some sugar's coming out. So now what I would like to do, I will go in with a little butter, my onions and mushrooms, my roasted peppers, my garlic, and bring all that together. Give it like about 2 more minutes. Let all those flavors come together.
How much butter did you put in?
I'll put in like 1 tablespoon of butter. I wish everyone could smell this.
Yeah, the Brussels sprouts are really starting to get fragrant.
Yeah. I think that's the problem people have with Brussels sprouts is like they don't cook them long enough.
Yeah, they're like hard still.
Yeah, they like hard, or they either don't cook them long enough or they don't season them good enough.
Mm.
So now I will add just a tad bit of water. So now you can add, I add water, you can add a little vegetable stock. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna reduce it down by half. And by the time I'll reduce it down, it'll be ready to go. That's what you want right there. See all the liquid is gone and nice color there. Nice caramelization. So now, as you can see, nice presentation here. So I have the Brussels sprouts with the onions, the roasted red pepper to give it that smokiness and a little more extra flavor, the garlic and everything. And then I hit it with a little reduced balsamic, local goat cheese, and some microgreens.
So we are now going to try these caramelized Brussels sprouts. You can see we got the goat cheese on there, the microgreens, the balsamic give it a little sweetness. So I'm gonna try this. And Pete, while I'm trying this, would you serve this as a side dish? Would you serve this as a main dish? Like, what would you partner it with?
Well, I think it's a good dish. If you're a vegetarian, it's a good dish as like one whole dish, like your main dish, as your entree. If you're not a vegetarian, it would be a good side dish. It would go good with nice ribeye or some kind of roasted pork, or even like a piece of salmon. Salmon would be good with that. More of your heavier fishes.
Yeah.
Salmon, mahi, even grouper would be really good.
And I will say, I am not a big mushroom fan, and I totally forgot there were mushrooms in here, and I just got one. It was actually really good. It just like absorbed all the flavors from everything around it.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize like a lot of it has to do with not only your seasoning, but the temperature of the pan. The temperature of the pan and what it brings out of the vegetables makes it different.
Yeah, and these Brussels sprouts are like soft. They're not mushy, but it doesn't feel like you're like biting into like a head of cauliflower or something. Like it's got a nice texture to it. And this feels like something you could totally dress up with things you like too, like chopped nuts, a different kind of cheese. The goat cheese is great. I think the like tang of the goat cheese goes well with the sweetness of the balsamic.
It gives it a little creaminess too.
Yeah, I think it's really good. I think you're right. This would be great on top of a steak. I would really enjoy that.
Yeah. Like a skirt steak or a flank steak or something like that.
That'd be really nice.
Yeah.
So this was again, a pretty easy dish. Altogether, what took that about 15 minutes, maybe?
Yeah, 15 minutes.
If you include prepping the vegetables, that kind of stuff. Again, one pan. So that makes it easy to do. You're not getting a ton of dishes dirty.
I like to keep it simple.
Simple, delicious. That's the tagline. Yummy used, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 or 7 different vegetables, so it's a really vegetable forward way to incorporate. You could get 7 different vendors from the market. In this, there's several vendors who have a couple of these items, like the onions, the Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts are in season right now, so this would be a nice fresh dish to make. The onions, different kinds of microgreens would give it different flavor, and the garnish as well, something a little more peppery, a little bit more bitter. These ones are cauliflower microgreens, which complements the Brussels sprouts well. They have a similar flavor. So super yummy.
And this dish can be year round too. You can change it with the season. You know, instead of Brussels sprouts, you can go asparagus. You know,
Sure,
instead of asparagus, you can go broccoli. You know, this would be good with cauliflower too.
Yeah.
You can use the same techniques.
So we just got, probably a full day serving worth of vegetables in. It's not a bunch of raw, sad vegetables. It's got a lot of really good flavor to it. Season it to taste. So this is great. We're gonna probably finish eating this, and we'll see you guys again next month with a new recipe from some more vendors at the farmers market. Bye guys.